have reached that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the Christmas decorations are all out here at Mikedo's Amphitheater here in Gridania. And all the stars are everywhere, the trees are everywhere, snowmen are everywhere, patches of snow everywhere, and Rika is here dressed up once again as the Sugar Plum Fairy. But this year, something is a little different, I should say. If for no other reason than the fact that for the first time in a long time, we're actually going to get something we don't typically get in Final Fantasy XIV anymore. Costumes. And this, believe me when I say it, this is no ordinary costume, but when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV, as we now fast forward to the evening, you'll see that I have Rika dressed up in an outfit that I created for her. It was something that I downloaded a few years ago and decided to make this my own version of the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker. But of course, this is an event that has had quite a few amazing outfits for the occasion, so I wanted to do basically a history of these outfits and what they're all about. So of course, I started in 2014, but I've also made it a point to download the 2013 original outfit worn during Starlight Celebration, which was this. So it was a fancy little take on a Santa Claus helper with buttons or cotton balls or whatever they are, puff balls on the shirts and the hats and the fancy little boots as well. And then the following year, we got this. More for the men, they don't get the little sexy shoulder thing, but the women do. And so on top of that, everyone got a Christmas tree hat to wear, and also some fancy boots. If you're familiar with Starlight Celebration throughout the years, you'll be aware that for the most part, this is the outfit most commonly associated with the Santa Nemea, aka Godbert's take on Santa. Then, in 2015... Actually, no, this was 2016 rather, because there was a smaller variant of something else that was introduced in 2013, but it wasn't as good. But in 2016, it made up for it with this robe. This is always one of the really wonderful outfits that I've seen throughout the history of Final Fantasy XIV Starlight Celebration. And depending on what gender you were playing as, if you're playing as a woman, like Rika of course, you had your sweater sleeves were out more prominently, plus you had a little snowman on the back of your robe. If you were playing as a male, the red sleeves of the robe itself would be more pronounced, and on your back would be a kakirin. So, just the ways that they made things more interesting for the various characters and the way they played it during the game. And then, in 2017, we got the choir robe, because that was, of course, when I first really started taking the idea of the Sugar Plum Fairy and really running with it with Corinne. But of course, the choir robe was given as a reward, but I already had Corinne dressed up as the Sugar Plum Fairy, but afterwards you got this, and it's yet another wonderful piece that the Starlight Celebration has given us. If there is one thing I wish they would give us, yeah, I've shown off my take on the Sugar Plum Fairy, but I really wish they would give us the Nutcracker. I've been waiting for it for so long, and it's a shame I'll never get to see it ever if it does ever come up. So maybe one day it will, but hey, we gotta say that for this year's outfit for Starlight Celebration, it's perhaps the most appropriate of all, because we've seen variants of it in this game, but this year we're getting the true, genuine article. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthias Griffin back with you for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker live here on Twitch. So we're going to go ahead here at Mikedo's Amphitheater in Gridania, and we are going to check out everyone who is having the opportunity to speak to this bearded lady, who just so happens to have a Mikote tail. But yeah, if you've known the Starlight Celebration throughout the years, you may actually know who this is, who we're speaking to, even though this is known as a bearded lady. Let's go ahead and speak with her to take on the level 15 quest for the 2023 edition of the Starlight Celebration entitled Blue, Blue, Blue Starlight. This Starlight Celebration volunteer is beaming at you. At least, you think so. Their face is difficult to discern through such mighty facial hair. Hello there. If it isn't my favorite adventurer, you do remember me, don't you? Perhaps I should remove my beard. Yeah, that might be a good idea. For those who are not familiar with this particular young lady. Yeah, it's our old friend Amgaranji who leads the Starlight Celebration. Much better. Starlight Celebrant Amgaranji at your service. I am ever so pleased to meet you during this most sacrosanct of seasons. In commemoration of the Ashgardian knights who once sheltered needy orphans from the cold, we strive to deliver joy and comfort to all younglings each Starlight Celebration. This year, we pay particular tribute to the figure at the heart of the Starlight legend, the snowy-bearded captain dubbed the Saint of Nemea. As you can see, we have commissioned replicas of his red coat and fluffy white beard. How better to delight the children than by distributing presents as the saint himself, after all? So far, we have been successful in spreading Starlight cheer. However what? It seems that there's a particular youngling who finds our felicitous festivities distressing. And it always seems to be one who's out in the cold, so to speak. Yeah, can you explain more? Were I free to wander, I would reach out to them myself and provide what aid I could. Alas, my duties as celebrant require my attendance here. Might resist this child in my stead. I am sure they would welcome the insights of an adventurer such as yourself. Yeah, you can count on the Sugar Plum Fairy. I am most grateful. Let me summon the young lady who first brought this matter to my attention. So let's see who we're dealing with here. Hello there, we have a young lady Ellison named Soline. Hello, my name is Soline. It's nice to meet you, miss. Nice to meet you too, Soline. As I told Miss Granchi, I've seen a boy around here who maybe is over her shoulder? Oh, look, there he is, over there! Yeah, who do we have as we pan the camera over to just outside the amphitheater? Yeah, we see this young man and he seems scared that we spotted him. Maybe he's too shy? I guess he didn't come to play this time either. That boy's been watching the stage from a distance ever since preparations began. At first, I thought he must be excited about the Starlight Celebration, but he always looks so sad. That's why I thought I'd try inviting him to play. But when I called out to him, he just ran away. Comforting others when they are troubled is a very kind thing to do. You did well to try, Soline. I just think nobody should be alone during the Starlight Celebration. A little chuckle on top of that. He keeps coming back, so I'm sure there's something he's worried about. Maybe he's too shy to ask for a present? Maybe. Either way, I'm worried about him. Will you help me make sure he's okay, miss? You got it. And look how happy she is. Then I'll leave this matter in your capable hands. I believe the boy ran off towards the Whistling Miller. Perhaps someone there knows more about him. Let's ask around. Please tell me if you learn anything and I'll be sure to do the same. You got it. How do we get out there, huh? As always. So let's go do this. Yeah, I would have gone on the air sooner, but it was about to turn into sunrise, and I was like, It doesn't make any sense to do the Starlight celebration during the middle of the day. It's the Starlight celebration after all. This needs to happen at night, and there's a Rothgar in a French maid outfit. As if I haven't seen that before. Let's go ahead and start by speaking with this cheerful cherub.
That boy who always comes to stare at the decorations? I know him. I mean, I've seen him around before. I don't know his name, and I don't think I've ever seen him smile.
Well, that's odd. Let's move on then. Because right over the bridge, we have this playful puppet.
Oh, you must mean Tenny. I heard he moved here from Aldar recently. Can't say much more than that. He makes a point of keeping to himself.
Well, maybe that explains the deep tan we noticed on him. 'Cause yeah, that was one deep tan, but yeah. It would make sense to understand why that would be, being out in the sun all day given that Aldar is in the middle of the Thanlin Desert, and found a watchful wood whaler. Boy, yes, ran straight past me towards the Great Lone Grove. Not much more to it than that. So yeah, let's go and, well, we need to speak with Starlight first. Yeah, I'm so used to, when I was doing that off camera, my first instinct was to go right there to the Great Lone Grove, aka the Botanist Guild, but no, you gotta let Starlight know where this boy is.
Did you learn anything?
Indeed we did. Including a name and a place.
So his name is Tenny.
Maybe like Alfred Lord Tennyson?
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go to the Great Lone Grove.
Yeah, thanks this gentleman for his help. So, off to the Botanist Guild we go. Unfortunately for us, the person of interest is right across the bridge. Hello there. Nice to meet you.
Who are you? Some kind of adventurer?
Indeed I am. Sugar Plum Fairy at your service.
She is, and my name is Celine. You were at Mikito's Amphitheater earlier, weren't you? Would you like to go and join the Starlight celebration with me? My friends will be there too, so we can all play together.
By that face, I think it's a no.
Your friends? They're really nice. Do you not want to? It's not that. It's a long story. I have time.
And so do I. Preferably before sunrise. As the music stops.
We just moved here for my father's job, and I know there's no point in moping about it, but I really, really miss my three friends back in Aldar. During Starlight, we'd show each other what toys we got and eat too many sweets and find all the best decorations in the city. We'd have so much fun, and each time we'd promise to play together the next year, but now,
not so much.
You're all the way in Gridania. I used to love the Starlight celebration, but now all I can think about is leaving my friends behind and betraying our promise. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings by asking to play. It's alright, you didn't know. But Tenny, doesn't this mean you'll never be able to destroy the Starlight celebration without feeling guilty? There must be something we can do. Miss, you're a grown-up. What do you think?
Yeah, so here's where you try and figure out which of these three options you're going to go with. And don't bother going with options 1 and 3, as silly as they are, or as silly as the third option is, and as cool as the first option would be. They force you to pick option number 2, so nothing screams friendship, Koopa, like Moogle Mail.
Mail. That's it! I can send them presents! That's a lovely idea! Everyone loves getting packages, and that way you'll be celebrating together, at a distance. What should I give them? Something you can only get in Gridania?
Ho ho ho! The answer to that is simple. Yeah, that's a familiar voice. And for the first time in forever, yeah, Godbert has come properly dressed for the occasion. He is not baring his legs for all to see. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, thank God it's not the same outfit again. They actually dressed him right for once. And maybe they'll do so perpetually from this point forward.
That snowy white beard, that's the real thing. You're the Saint of Nemea, aren't you?
As he laughed for everyone to hear. He's even got a chocobo on his belt buckle. Quite! Young Tenny, you need look no further than your own two hands. For presents crafted from the heart are presents full of heart. I shall rigorously assist you in every step of our creation, as both an artisanal saint and saintly artisan.
I really don't understand, but thank you.
Something else that also makes no sense to me.
If Tenny is from Ordar, how does he not recognize a member of the Syndicate in Godbert Mandeville, the man who's responsible for the creation of the Gold Saucer? Like, how does he not recognize a member of the Syndicate of Ordar?
Like, I guess Godbert maybe spends too much time in the Gold Saucer with the bunnies? I don't know.
I'll help too. That way your presents will be crafted in half the time. Really? Alright then, thanks.
Looks like we're about to get going on that sort of thing. And in the meantime, Mistress Adventurer, might we rely upon you to deliver Tenny's gifts once they are prepared? Though we could post them by more conventional routes, a child's hard work and dedication ought to be hand-delivered by only the most trusted individual. And as you are both emotionally invested in Tenny's happiness and currently standing before me, I bequeath the task to you. You will do it, yes? Of course I can. Excellent. Then we shall realize these creations ere the spinner sloshes her nog. In the meantime, I would have you apprise Omkaranji of our efforts. Once you have relayed your report, return here for the requisite patches. Chop chop! So, the Saint of Nemea and the kids will get to work. We have to complete this quest by making our way back over to the Kados Amphitheater by speaking with Om. So, upon our return to the amphitheater, let's tell her what's going down.
Welcome back. Were you able to speak with the boy?
Indeed we have.
I see. To be separated from one's friends is heartbreaking indeed. I only wish I too could help in some way. Oh, I know just the thing. I shall transform you into a saint. I have a Saint in Nemea costume that I would be most happy to gift you. Tenny Stones will be delighted for a visit from the Spinner's anointed home. Accept this with my warmest wishes, dear adventurer. I know you won't let us down.
And so, thank you very much. So, as this is the completion of the first quest, a first for a special event that I can't remember the last time that this has happened, but no experience points are given. But, as mentioned, does give us a Saint of Nemea outfit, known officially as the Unorthodox Saint's outfit, which, given that the Saint of Nemea's, the Godbert version of the Saint of Nemea is rather unorthodox, this makes a lot of sense. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, lots of people already dressed appropriately, so now we need to go and do the same. Okay, so sometime later, this is what Rika looks like dressed up as the Saint of Nemea. And yeah, you see a lot of people everywhere really showing off their emotions and really getting into this new full-fledged Santa outfit. So, what do you say we get back on the road here, speak with Om, to take on the level 15 second quest for the Starlight celebration entitled Together at a Distance. Omkaranji is grinning eagerly, her wide eyes sparkling more than usual.
without further ado, let us transform you into the Saint of Nemea. I have no doubt you will look every bit the part of the costume I gave you.
So yeah, now you have to put this all on in order to continue. This is one of those kinds of quests. So since we are already properly dressed up.
Incredible! I feel as though I'm addressing the very captain of legend. Now then, pray return to the Great Lomgrori and collect his presents. The happiness of precious younglings is in your hands.
So, let's do this. Alright, so Tenny and Celine are all set. The Saint Amia is already on his way to who knows where.
The presents are ready. I thought it might take longer, but the Saint Amia showed us how to weave them up in no time. We need 3 bracelets, one for each of my friends.
And so, he'll pass them on to us.
You said you take them to Ordar for me, right? My friend Momolau always hangs out around outside the quicksand, so you should start there. If the others aren't with him, he'll tell you where to go. I don't know how to properly thank you for this, but thank you, miss.
And so, with bracelets obtained, it's now time for us to head on over to Oldar. So, upon arrival here at the quicksand, let's go ahead and speak to Momolau.
Yeah, I'm Momolau. What have you got for me?
Well, one of these.
From Tenny? Oh, Tenny, you big dummy! We've all been a mess since he left. It's just not the same without him. But now I know that some things will never change no matter how far apart we are. He's still the same old Tenny, still celebrating Starlight with us.
And he certainly is, and he's the reason why I'm here.
He sent gifts for all of us? Oh, someone's gonna cry, I can feel it. Let's see. Larkin said he'd be in the Gold Court, and Othwell had to do something near Mildarath's aquarium. Thanks, miss. Tell Tenny happy Starlight for us.
You got it. For a faucet, huh? Yeah, that's pretty clever on that one. So since I know the closest Aetheryte for the Gold Court is the Gladiators Guild, that's where we shall go. So up the stairs and into the Gold Courts, which also is dressed for the occasion. Yeah, we were also here earlier this year for the Rising. So, Mr. Larkin.
Hello, miss. I've been very good this year. You can ask my friends.
Well, I have proof to that.
A handmaid? From Tenny? I'm not crying. I just got snow in my eye.
Even though we're in the middle of Ul'dah, which is always in the desert.
Last year, we all stood right here and made a promise to celebrate Starlight together. And Tenny remembered even though he moved away. I thought that was the end for us, but friends always find a way, right? And Tenny will always be our friend. Tell I said that, okay?
So now let's make our way over to this aquarium. Right in front of where the Blue Mage quests take place. And yeah, I do need to still work Rika on Black Mage, but I'll get her there eventually. And so we find Othwell at the base of this tree. So let's speak to him.
How do you know my name? Is that package for me?
It certainly is.
Tenny sent this? He made this? No, I guess he didn't forget about his mates after all. It's funny, I just finished wrapping a gift for Tenny too. A gift from all of us. We wanted something with our names on it, so we pulled our pocket money and got him a bracelet. Great minds think alike, eh? Anyway, if you're headed back to Gridania, could you take this to him? It'd mean a lot to us.
I can certainly do that. All of Tenny's gifts have been successfully distributed. Now, to make your final delivery, one dressed to Tenny himself. So, back over to Gridania. So, back over to the Great Lone Brewery, let's go ahead and speak with Tenny.
Did you find everyone? Did they like their presents?
They certainly did, but that's not all.
This is...
Oh, what did they get you? Moment of truth.
a bracelet? And look, they carved their names into it. Murmurlow, Larkin, Orthwell, and Tenny. They must really miss you too. If this isn't proof of your friendship, I don't know what is.
Yeah, you're all still looking out for each other.
I never thought they'd send me something. And it's a bracelet too. Great minds think alike, eh?
That's what they said. Yeah, Othwell in particular.
I'm so glad everything worked out. Now you can enjoy the Starlight celebration without any more worries.
Yes, you can.
Celine, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, why are you so shocked?
I was really happy when you invited me to play before. So I hope... I mean... would you be my friend? You silly! I'm already your friend.
I mean, she was willing to do this for you, so yeah, I would say that definitely qualifies as friendship. And even under that beard, Rika approves of what she sees. So, now it's time to go ahead and finish the quest as dawn begins to break here in Gridania. Which means I have timed everything perfectly. So for the last part of this, I'm just gonna not show Rika with beard on, even as cruel and as cute as that is. But yeah, we want to at least have her show her face when we see how this all comes to an end. So yeah, let's talk about this.
So not only were his handmade presents happily received, Tenny's friends sent him a thoughtful gift as well. None could ask for a better display of Starlight spirits. You have brightened many a young face today in your role as the Saint of Mimir. It truly warms my heart. Still, I can't help but wonder if Tenny and his friends knew how fitting the gift of a woven bracelet is.
And yeah, perhaps you can enlighten us.
In certain lands, such bracelets are customarily exchanged as the symbol of friendship. As it is said, the intertwining strands represent lasting bonds.
That's very poetic.
No doubt those younglings will enjoy each other's companionship for many a Starlight to come.
And speaking of which, hey you two.
We came to say thank you. Thank you, Miss Garangi. Thank you, miss. I'm grateful that I was able to keep my promise to my friends and make another one along the way.
Glad I could help.
I'm glad to hear it. After all, the Starlight celebration is meant to be enjoyed with everyone we cherish, be they near or far. Now then, what say you both to receiving your gifts?
Yeah, because now we have gifts from the Saint of Nemea.
I gave those two their presents earlier, but they seem to be in search of companions. Let's invite them to play, Tenny. Yeah, we can all celebrate together.
Thus, Tenny now has not only 3 friends in Oda, but also 3 friends in Gridania. Yeah, who needs social media? Yeah, I'd say we have definitely succeeded in 2023's Starlight Celebration. And as Godbert watches on, a savior chosen to shield younglings from winter's wrath and provide them with every happiness this season can afford. Yet, not all gifts are within the Saint's power to deliver. The gift of friendship, for instance. Forsooth, I can only teach them to make pretty things and encourage them from afar. May their starlights be bright and their friendship everlasting. Ho ho ho! With one circle of friends continuing on and a new one established, we'll take our 1,440 experience points and 1,352 gil. And also in the achievement, Weaving a Bond. So, as we now see, there is more going on with Starlight Celebration. So, we are going to continue by showing off some epilogue content. As there's been in other special events in the past, there are these little epilogue things where you get to participate and you'll be able to be visited by NPCs that you've seen before. And depending on how far along in the game you are, depending on how many expansions you've cleared, there's been opportunities to get more content. And this year's Starlight Celebration is no different. So, someone named themselves COVID Quarantine. Alright. Some of the weird names in this game, I tell ya. So let's go and speak with Amgaranji and move on to our epilogue quest entitled Starlight Surprise. Amgaranji brightens when she sees you, glancing at a stack brimming with Starlight goodies.
Perhaps I might persuade you to continue your work as the Saint of Ymir?
Indeed.
Splendid! Britannia will ever be the merrier for it. Donors from across the realm have sent us a wider array of delights this year, so I would have you distribute them to the means who pass by the amphitheater. While I won't insist on the costume, you should know that you look very well in it. I shall leave the decision to you. Yeah, as mentioned, not required, but we'd be cool not to still keep this on. So we come over here to the base of this Starlight tree near where the salvagers and the recompense officers and the Moogle, the port delivery Moogle's hidden behind the tree. So yeah, we wait out here, and as we do, oh, there's even a chicken here from Hatching Tide a few years ago. You see a child approaching the amphitheater. Reaching into your bag of gifts, you select one of the following 6 options. Now, you get the first 3 by default, but then, of course, as you clear more expansions, you get the opportunity to add these 3. So, obviously, if you keep beating Endwalker, you get all 6 options. Let's start with defaults, though, and go from the top of the list down to the bottom, beginning with the Deluxe Bismarck Pound Cake. And make sure it's not a fruitcake. Yeah. A sweet confection for you, little man. Enjoy. So as he heads off, I have to say, this may be, after all this time of playing this game, well and truly a first. Seeing Admiral Merlweb of Limsa Laminsa, the Thalaccrat herself, the Thalassocrat herself, on the scene here in Gridania. I don't think this has ever happened before. In storyline, she appears in Gridania on a number of occasions, but I think this is well and truly the first time we've actually seen her in Gridania. Well, this is rather unexpected. I have but just finished attending to state business and thought to observe these celebrations ere I return to Limsa Laminsa. I understand the Bismarck donated baked sweets to be distributed as gifts. Though I have little familiarity with the Starlight Celebration myself, one does not soon forget the joy of receiving such festival delights as a child. I pray that the Bismarck's contribution provides Eorzea's young ones with many a fond memory. Yeah, for those not familiar, the Bismarck is the culinarian's guild in Limsa Laminsa. Also, you didn't need to bring your pistol with you, Admiral. This is a peaceful celebration. So when you go back,
We'll speak with Dom again.
Thank you for your assistance. I trust the younglings enjoyed their presents. Should you have further time to spare for sailing duties, do not hesitate to return. May you have a very happy Starlight adventurer.
And so, every time you do this, you get 10 Sunshine Magic Prisms. And you can do this as many times as you want over the course of the celebration. So, we'll go ahead and now do this for the other 5 options. So, back over to the tree. Someone's even literally cosplaying as Godberg himself. Because of course someone would do that. Oh, that's awesome. At least it's the Saint of Nemea outfit, the current one, not the old one. Oh, wow. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to a pair of warm Fennel boots. Yeah, it is uncanny how some people will mimic the NPCs of this game down to the letter. So as this little girl gets a new pair of boots for herself, we have the Elder Seedseer now joining us, accompanied by her guard.
Thank you for dedicating time to placing for the younglings. Seeing the city awash with their bright smiles is but one virtue of this fine festival. Were those not fennel boots you gifted just now?
Straight from the Leatherworkers Guild.
The atelier is known for its steady shoes, so I imagine that child will be afforded endless hours of play. I used to run through these woods as a youth, and I can assure you that feet are the first to feel winter's bite. How reassuring to know that our children will spend the coldest season in warmth and comfort.
Indeed they will. Yeah, it's always a great honor to be able to have us some time with the Elder Seedseer. And so, next up, we have a Sunsilk Tapestries winter coat, which, given that this is coming from the Weaver's Guild in Ul'dah, where it's always a 100-degree desert, kind of a surprise, but maybe they've thought of everything. They've left nothing to chance for anybody in other places of the world. So this little girl is swapping out her poncho for a winter coat. And I know what a lot of you were hoping for. You were probably hoping for the Sultana, but, well, not this time. Instead, it's Miss Mamodi from the Quicksand Adventurers Guild.
So you're the Saint of Nemea I've been hearing so much about. I snagged an invitation from the Adventurers Guild hoping for some seasonal refreshment, and between all the smiling youngsters and twinkling lights, I haven't been disappointed. That garment you just handed off was Weaver's Guild craftsmanship, wasn't it? I'd recognize that style anywhere. A certain fancy guildmaster is gonna hear how well that puppet liked his present just as soon as I get back to Ul'dah.
Also, that was a boy, apparently.
If he doesn't melt to rose oil on the spot, I'll eat my proverbial hat.
And she's referring to the Weaver's Guild's guild master, Redolent Rose. Beginning with a mammoth produced by the Sky Steel Manufactory. Let's go into this little girl. Yeah, a gift from Ishgard. So I'm sure some of you are probably thinking we're gonna see Ceramic, right? Well, we have seen him before, but no, it's not him. In fact, this one was a surprise, for sure. It's a Manlan's little manservant slash wingman, Onawa, who, as you can see, is still sporting that scar that he got from being trampled on in the Heavensward prologue in patch 3.2. Yeah, poor little guy.
Ah, Mr. Sasaki, what an honor it is to have witnessed such a heartwarming and philanthropic exchange. You gifted that child a celestial manufacturing mallet, did you not? I find it fascinating that toys created by modern technologies should be coveted for so traditional a festival as the Starlight celebration. In truth, I am conducting research into how such Ishgani festivals are perceived and promoted in neighboring nations.
Well, you do it as well as Gridania.
When I penned The White Yonder, I developed a particular curiosity regarding the effect of interpersonal exchanges on the transmission of cultural practices, you see. Lord and Anne Land generously granted me leave to embark on this journey of inquiry, and I hope to compile one insights I gained here into another volume. A happy Starlight's humor, lady.
I certainly appreciate that, and that's quite the fascinating undertaking that you're doing there, Anawa. Maybe one day we'll get to read this for ourselves. So, let's move on to round 5. A pair of mittens knitted with Ashen Step wool. And for those of you who know Stormblood and where the Ashen Step is, you're probably thinking of a few people in particular. You may be thinking Hien, you're thinking Lady Ugiri, you're maybe thinking of Sirena, but you will not believe who's going to come pay us a visit. This made me lose my mind. What is Magni doing here? Yeah, how did Magni get all the way from the Ashen Steppe on the other side of the world to Gridania? When I saw this, like, I literally needed to stop playing for 5 minutes. I dropped my controller, turned around, and couldn't stop laughing because I was just losing my mind. Because, yeah, like I said, we were expecting a Stormblood character, so you would have thought it would be someone like Hien or Sirena or Ugiri, but yeah, it's Magni the Older, the leader of the Oranir tribe. What? Is my presence here so peculiar? I have it on the authority of foreign traders that this Eorzean ritual is not simply a sacred distribution of gifts to children. It is an ideal setting in which to find my Nama. Yeah, in other words, 6 years after Ishtola rejected his advances, he's still looking for his one true love. But here of all places? Oh, little son, you need some help. And like, yeah, try again when you become a man. Your denial is futile. Hidden somewhere in this wood is my gentle maiden of dusk, my ethereal dancer in the morning mist. I am certain of it. Yeah, keep looking, man. At all those I have yet observed appear to be mewling children, chattering kin, or shamelessly courting couples, of which the latter you are not yet a part of. Had I been aware of such a complication, I would have sought divine guidance before coming here. Then again, delaying my journey might have precluded attending this auspicious ceremony. Nay, I am born of the mighty sun and naught can elude my gaze. Let legend remember that Magni of the Oranir sought his Nama alone, and discovered her wreathed in the light of Gridania's stars. Yeah. He's not quite at 7-year itch territory yet, but he's getting close. He's getting very close. And so, last but not least, since there was nothing to gain out of Shadowbringers, because that takes place entirely within the first, we move on to Endwalker to gift a Shardian Ring of Wisdom. And so, this little girl receives this fancy ring. So, this one is not out of left field. This one is actually very obvious. Or in this case, these two are very obvious. Yeah, it's both of the twins' parents, not just one. I was expecting it would be Emiliance or Fortuno, but it's Emiliance and Fortuno.
My Rika, what a lovely surprise!
And also I should point out as well, Emiliance not dressed in her Starlight celebration choir robe as she usually is. Yeah, given that this is the Starlight celebration, you would think that the Starlight choir robe that she usually wears when she's living in Charlian would be a given for her to be wearing here. Before you ask, I'm not here on official business. My wife wished to see the festivities, so I have accompanied her. That is all. And she's like, sure you did.
So much for Starlight cheer. You know, once, when the twins were little, Fortuno gave them puzzles complicated enough to stump half the studio. And that was generously his best effort at gift-giving. But lo and behold, Arthur solved his without batting an eye, and Alice couldn't really bother to open the box.
Which kind of sounds like the evil twin.
My gift was seeing this man dumbfounded by his two talented and drastically different children.
And he just shrugs about it. Yes, well, the very notion that the Saint and Amir might visit our Charlian household was flawed from the outset. Regardless, such charades are behind us now. Our children no longer lie awake hoping for Starlight Christmas. Yeah, they just finished their humanitarian work in Garlemald.
Perhaps, but I certainly wouldn't refuse a gift, were it offered.
Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It appears I have business at Fenniel Foundries after all. If you'll excuse me. Yeah, off he goes, leaving his wife behind. And then, Emiliance actually gives you bonus dialogue if you actually did the quest with her in the epilogue with the crafting and gathering.
That's right. I must send Mila a little something as well. Did you know she's begun work at the High Crucible? Oh, I am so proud of her.
Yeah, it was nice to see you both, and Fortune was like, hurry up! Get over here! And so, that's it for the main content here for the Starlight Celebration for 2023. So, it doesn't matter if you start doing these quests or not. When you come to the Starlight Supplier over here outside the amphitheater, you'll always be able to get the same items. So this here includes an illuminated topiary chocobo, which is already put into the FC house, and so let me go ahead and take you over to there right now to show you what it looks like. So upon arrival, this is what the topiary chocobo looks like. It's all draped in fancy starlights, as it were. So we've had it chilling out in our igloo here. Yeah, the igloo. This is not something that's part of Starlight Celebration. We just bought it because we could off the market board. But of course, there's also various Starlight things here. The patches of snow that we can dot along our front house, front yard of the FC. The Starlight Sentinel tree that we got 9 years ago. The gifts that are at the base of the tree. Yeah, we pretty much have so much. In fact, next week, my FC is hosting a Christmas-themed concert. And yes, we have made it a point to have Starlight music playing on the Orchestrion. So yeah, we also have set up a theater, which we've had for a couple of years now, and we use for special occasions. So we've got our fancy wall ornaments, we've got our Starlight Gooby wreath hanging as well. There's also, oh yeah, I moved the other one. The other one is at Matthias' house right now. Yeah, we got everything that we need for really celebrating the occasion for this year. And of course, the music that we got to hear in 2017, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there we go. That is all the content for the 2023 edition of the Starlight Celebration. And so next week, now we get to have a concert, and it'll be the last thing I get to do in this game before heading off on Christmas vacation. So it was worth it to do this for all of you.